residents are paying very close attention to the fact that we wanted not too long ago that you weren't here, and that meeting, I'd like to add, was a very short meeting. And the only time that the meetings seem to run very long are the meetings in which you are presiding over. But like I said, 131 more days till election. But you passed the resolution in support of gutting OPRA. And now you are expressing that you want to limit the voice of your constituents, that I'd like to remind you that you serve at the pleasure of. So I'd like to thank the other council members who understand and appreciate that they're doing a public service to us. And I'll just end my statements there. 131 days and counting.
Thank you.
TikTok.
Erica, the resolution on OPRA, where did that resolution come from?
It came from, well, I got that template from the Municipal Clerks Association of New Jersey, the president, but it's one that pretty much every town is using.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thomas J. Cohen at 612 Third Avenue. The resolution that you proposed was a template from the state, who has now taken away our OPRA rights. Thomas J. Cohen at 612 Third Avenue. But the resolution was redrafted by the council to object to our OPRA rights being taken away. And I'm someone who spent a lot of money on lawyers to get OPRA done properly in this town and not have documents 80% redacted. So those were redacted by your attorney's office, Mr. Bernstein. So now you're trying to take away more time from us. Now, I like to say, I have some answers here. I'm not just going to criticize. Share information. There's this thing called the internet where you can post all the documents. Share information with us. Share information with the council. Would have been nice to know about Leonard Guida's situation, but you didn't share the document with anybody. Okay, and then you wonder why there's lawsuits. You wonder why the meetings take so long. Okay, that's because your administration is not good, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just two.
Here's a question pending for Councilman Guzzo.
Okay, and I have a comment relative to your.
I'm not interested in your comment.
Well, you're gonna have to be interested in it because we're gonna hear it.
You
Well,
can speak,
okay,
please,
fine.
I'm not interested.
The first thing is the OPRA law that you talked to. I'm not the one who put the OPRA.
When you were absent, you put forth
No, I'm sorry.
that you wanted to support. You were not here that night, and the council rewrote, and he wrote our own.
Ms. Capel, I didn't put that on the agenda, so I'll just put it on the record. I did not put that on the agenda. I did not put that on the agenda.
Another individual resolution, 2024-120, calling for the modernization of the Open Public Records Act, OPRA, and the swift passage of S 2930/A-4045. Do I have any comments from the council?
Yes,
Go ahead, Councilwoman Mahoney.
well, I have a comment from Councilman Weber that I'd like to read. Sorry I could not be there, folks. I'm in DC for work and can't duck out for a 4-hour council meeting. I want everyone to know that I oppose resolution 120 on the agenda in support of the OPRA reform bill that just passed the legislation in Trenton. This council should pass a resolution urging the governor to veto this bill. While I may agree that our OPRA law needs some reforms, I do not think these are the right reforms that OPRA needs. Please don't forget that it is only through OPRA that we learned of the Bridgegate scandal of the former governor, Chris Christie. And a little closer to home, it is only through OPRA that we learned of the horrific behavior of our own former police chief. And we got to see it with our own eyes. I do think there are abuses of OPRA. We have experienced that in Bradley Beach with an anonymous OPRA requester making requests that cost the borough thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. The worst part was that in the end, we found out that the anonymous OPRA requester was sitting right up here with us on the dais. So I'm glad that we're going to re-examine this. I have a small statement. I believe in more transparency in government, not less. This bill serves to erode transparency in government. Access to information is critical to a society in ensuring their government is working with the voters' best interests at heart. This legislation seeks to goad the people to indifference. And indifference is all that is needed for corruption to take hold. Additionally, we've seen tonight that we have a dichotomous process that can happen from this administration with regards to OPRA. Those are my comments. And those of Mr. Weber, Councilman Weber.
Comment.
Go ahead, yes.
Well, my first comment is that I want to just praise our clerk. Because Erica, in a matter of an hour or so, created a new resolution for the council. Well, we created it, but you produced it and got it ready for us, so thank you for that. You know, the agenda was set last week. The council did not have a full appreciation for what this particular resolution said. Once we saw it, we immediately, one by one conversation after another, agreed that we did not support it. So we knew we were going to vote no on the resolution that was shared with the public. I did not talk to Councilman Weber, who, for the first time I heard, he said we should propose a new resolution asking the governor to veto this bill. We don't, obviously that would possibly at least be a long shot to accomplish, but on independently, because Councilman Weber was at his meeting in DC, I believe. Independently, this council did construct a revised version of the resolution that I believe we plan to approve tonight. We did not have the opportunity to share this version of the resolution with the public. And my question for Mr. Cannon, Greg, as you know, it's page and a third. Do we need to read this into the record?
Yes, if it wasn't put online yet.
Erica, can we ask you to read it, or should one of us read it?
One of you can read it.
It looks like I'm elected.
You're holding it already, right?
What's that?
You're holding it already, right?
Not only that, I've pretty much
The
memorized it.
music stopped, you got it.
All right. So we have a new resolution. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's a question for Mr. Cannon.
Yeah, vote.
When we vote, great, when we
You need
vote.
to move to amend the resolution, to whatever
Yes.
you wanted to say, and then vote on it.
Okay. let's
And the second motion to vote on it.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to amend 2024-120, calling for the modernization of the OPRA Public Records Act and the swift passage of S 2930/A-4045.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes,
Ms. Mahoney?
yes,
Mr. Weber excused, Mayor Fox excused.
I was gonna have to snap while you do this.
okay, so this is the discussion phase of voting on the amended resolution, and I'm going to read the amended resolution to the public. I'll try to read relatively quickly. I think you'll get a gist of where it's heading. But again, calling for the modernization of the Open Public Records Act and this, and actually, we've got to change the title. And the veto of, but beyond the title, everything else should be good. Whereas in 2002, lame duck session, the Open Public Records Act, OPRA, was approved to make government records readily accessible for inspection, copying, or examination by citizens of this state, with certain exceptions for the protection of the public interest while protecting a citizen's right to a reasonable expectation of privacy. And whereas in 2022, lame duck session, the Open Public Records Act, OPRA, was approved to make government records readily accessible for inspection, copying, or examination by the citizens of this state, with certain exceptions for the protection of the public interest, while protecting a citizen's right to a reasonable expectation of privacy. And whereas in the 20 years since the enactment of OPRA, with the advent of new technologies, we have witnessed unintended consequences, and in some cases, abuses of OPRA that place an unfair burden on local governments and taxpayers. And I'm going to pause here to say, What I just read to you is what was issued last night, on Friday rather. It's the same wording. That's the introduction to this current state. You'll begin now to hear significant edits. And whereas we believe certain reforms are needed to address some of these unintended consequences and to create a more efficient and effective process that can ease the increasing burden on municipal staffs and budgets created by volume requesters, eliminate anonymous requesters, minimize exorbitant attorney's fees, and curtail the use of OPRA by outside businesses and interests who abuse OPRA for commercial profit. And whereas, despite its flaws, current OPRA regulations provide invaluable transparency rights and protections to our residents, which are the foundation of strong and efficient democracy, and assures that their government is fair, efficient, and working for the greater good. And whereas the approved bill S 2930/A-4045 would create unreasonable barriers for residents and journalists to access information that can uncover improper activity and wrongdoing in government. And whereas Bill S 2930/A-4045 allows government entities to sue OPRA requesters who they believe are abusing OPRA, and its intimidating effect will likely serve to deny people access to public records through fear of litigation. And whereas Bill S 2930/A-4045 is expected to cost New Jersey taxpayers $10 million to implement and will add significant annual increases in salaries for the Government Records Council. Now therefore be it resolved, the governing body of the Borough of Bradley Beach in the County of Monmouth respectfully requests New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy to exercise his authority to veto Bill S 2930/A-4045, and be it further resolved, as local leaders, we reaffirm our support and commitment to open and transparent government and public access to records. And we believe that Bill S 2930/A-4045 will serve to erode the public's trust in government. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Senate President Scutari, Assembly Speaker Coughlin, Senator Vin Gopal, Assemblywoman Margie Donlin, Assemblywoman Luann Peterpaul, Governor Murphy, and the New Jersey League of Municipalities. And that is the writing that has been created to replace the original version.
So let's make a motion to approve the,
And I made note of the change on the title.
Thank you.
2024-120 amended version. Do I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber excused, Mayor Fox excused.